Tomorrow is the last day in the mountains in this year's Tour de France. Hello, fellow cycling fans. I am George and welcome to my preview of Tour de France 2025 Stage 19. But as ever, we first need to recap Stage 18. Quite an eventful one, but I have to be honest, it was a bit of a letdown in the end. Winner was Ben O'Connor from the breakaway. He was in a secondary breakaway, attacking in the valley, gaining some 3 minutes and 30 seconds in front of the GC group, and in the end, he managed to fend them off. Tadej Pogacar in second, 1 minute and 45 seconds behind. Vingegaard in third after attacking Pogacar on the Madeleine, some 9 seconds behind Pogacar, and then the MVP of the day, Oscar Only. He was amazing. We will talk about him a little bit more in this video. Then Rubio, Gal, Roglic, Yates, Johannesson, Kass and Lipovic only 11th. What was that from the Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe? That was the worst tactics I've ever seen. Roglic was in a breakaway, everything was going good. Then Lipovic was some 25-30 seconds behind Pogacar and Vingegaard on the Madeleine. They needed to tell Primoz, come on, wait for Lipovic, we can come back on the descent, we will have a great situation with two riders in the front group with Only and the others behind, but no, they left Roglic in the front group, then Lipovic was dying on his own on the descent, then in the valley. Then he attacked behind O'Connor, Rubio, and Jorgensen, spending a lot of time going up the Col de la Loze alone. It was just horrible. In the end, he lost so much time, but still third in the GC. Pogacar extends his lead to 4 minutes and 26 seconds in front of Vingegaard. Lipovic 11 minutes behind, but only 22 seconds in front of Only. This is the main focus of the stage 19. I think that is also the battle for the white jersey. So what did Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe do? They could have third and fourth easily. Instead, they both lost time to Only. Roglic now in fifth. Gal moves into sixth. Vokelan in seventh. Then Johannessen, Healy, and O'Connor rounding up the top 10. And it looks like this will be the final top 10. I just don't see Jordan Giga overtaking anyone in the top 10, and all the other guys are too far behind. Milan once again won an intermediate sprint. He extends his lead over Pogacar. I expect him to do it tomorrow as well. So this competition is probably finished. In the KOM, we still have kind of a battle. Pogacar now convincingly leads in front of Vingegaard. Martinez some 33 points behind. In the first part of the stage tomorrow, you can get a maximum of 40 points. So he is still in the mix, but it's looking like this one is going to Pogacar. Then Arensman O'Connor with an outside chance, but I don't think that they can challenge Pogacar. And the white jersey, as I said, just 22 seconds between Lipovic and Only. Kevin Vokelan 5 minutes behind. It was interesting as Visma was kind of fake pacing in the final climb, and I think they actually did it for the team's classification. They now have 14 minutes in front of UAE Team Emirates. It does look a lot, but it can change, and I think that this will maybe even be the battle of the Tour de France in the end. So finally moving on to stage 19, just 130 kilometers from Albertville to La Plagne mountaintop finish, once again going over 2000 meters of elevation. But before La Plagne, we have four climbs. The first one coming almost immediately from the start after the intermediate sprint, 11.3 kilometers at 5.2%, a second category climb. This is where the stage will explode. Everyone will want to get in a breakaway. It looks like UAE Team Emirates don't have any intention of chasing breakaways in this year's third week. Probably Pogacar wants to win in Paris and to save the yellow jersey. That kind of looks like his main focus. He looked as fresh as Daisy in the end of today's stage, but never really made an attack or an effort to win the stage. Then moving on to the first category climb called the CC, 13.8 kilometers at 6.4%, another long climb, then a long descent before Col du Pré. It is 12.6 kilometers at 7.8%, probably the hardest climb in tomorrow's stage. And then a plateau before the Cormet de Roselon. It is a famous climb, but from this other side it is a really long, some 30 kilometers, but from this side it is only 5.8 at 6.5% as we have that plateau between that one and Col du Pré. Then a long, long descent, some 30 kilometers, and then a finishing climb into La Plagne, 19.1 kilometers at 7.3%. This is how the stage looks on the map, starting in Albertville, doing a kind of a loop around the Alps, and then finishing around these hairpins to La Plagne, another alpine skiing resort. This is the final climb into La Plagne, really consistent throughout, some 7-8% for the whole 11 kilometers, a bit shallower in the end, but still a hard or category climb. The weather in tomorrow's stage will be similar to the one we had today. On the top it will be 9-10 degrees Celsius, once again a rain and cold, but luckily no wind, just 2 meters per second from the northwest. That is actually tailwind on the climb, so probably that can be good for the riders. What can we expect on this stage? Well, I think that everyone will try to get in a breakaway because UAE is not chasing. O'Connor, Healy, maybe again Gal, Johannessen, maybe even Vokelan should try. I think it will be a breakaway festival. Visma Lisa Bike, they threw everything they have at Pogacar today. They just couldn't touch him. Not a single weakness in his ride. So I think once again they will try to maybe go for a stage win with Kus or Yates. Jorgensen doesn't look good, so that is best they can hope for. Surely Vingegaard can't drop Pogacar. But as I said, the main focus of tomorrow's stage have to be the battle for the white jersey between Lipovic and only. Lipovic spent so much energy today in vain. I think that was a horrible tactics, as I previously said. I think Picnic Postanel should try something, maybe to launch only on the La Plagne climb, just 22 seconds. It is more than doable, and it is also a podium spot, so he has to do everything he can to try and win it. On the other hand, Red Bull, Bora Hansgrohe, they have two riders in contention for that third spot, and they should once again try and attack with Roglic. What else can they do? So, what about the stage win? Well, the bookmakers have Tadej Pogacar as the number one favorite once again, but you can see that his odds are going up. They are not so sure that he's going to win once again. Vingegaard in a second, but it's just impossible to see Vingegaard beating Pogacar in this year's edition. Even if they get to the line together, then Pogacar always smokes him in the last 200, 300 meters. Ben O'Connor, really hard to see him repeating the ride of today. Gal, Buitrago, Storer, Rubio, I can see them all trying again, as well as Arensman. Roglic is maybe an interesting option, as well as Valentin, Parepanther, and Ben Healy. UA can maybe try and send Adam Yates in a breakaway. He looked good today, so why not try to do that also for that team's classification? I think they have that in mind. You see that Yates rode all the way to the finish today. Also Navas tried, so they are cutting in the deficit they have to Visma Leasebike. But who is my pick for tomorrow? Well, as I said, it is a Primoz Roglic from the breakaway. He goes for the third in the overall and he gets the stage win in the process. So that is all for this preview. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a like if you did. Don't forget to subscribe. Less than 15 subscribers until my long lasting goal of 1000 subscribers. Have a great day and I hope to see you tomorrow for my preview of stage 20. Bye.